Good morning, Mandy. Afternoon, Mandy.
It's not cheap to be that blonde.
We'll call the meeting to order. Today is June 13th, 2023. It's 4 p.m. for the regular meeting of the Town of Parker Parks and Recs Committee. We'll call the meeting to order at 4 o'clock. Please turn off all electronic devices during the meeting, and if you'll rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call of committees, please, Amy.
Chairman Aspa,
Present.
Vice Chair Beavers.
Here.
Member Parker, absent. Member Page, absent. Member Baldwin,
Here.
Member Rodriguez,
Here.
Member Hartless.
Here.
Did Kaylee get a Zoom link? Because she said she was going to join via Zoom.
I didn't. I've been in here, so I haven't checked my email. I didn't have anything from her as of 3:30, so. Oh, didn't hear from her.
Okay. Is there a Zoom link available?
Yes, there is.
Okay. And there's no one called in on the Zoom link?
No, there isn't.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Reports and updates, Steve, please.
Okay, I'll start off with the letter that was written to Crit in regards to the dugout. So that has been written, and it was handed over to the mayor. Mayor, I don't know if he actually delivered it to Amelia directly, but he did speak with her. I think he has since actually given her the letter. We haven't had any response in regards to that letter yet. According to the mayor, he is waiting to hear back from her because she was going to make arrangements to have a meeting in regards to it. So that's all I have with the dugout. City park cameras were vandalized. So we did capture the young man who vandalized the cameras. He broke one on either side of the restroom, handball court area. So it was a tribal member, so that was handed over to Crit PD, and that's where that is now. I guess his parent or his father was contacted, and if they want us to ask the youth to have any cleanup at the city park, he said just reach out to him, and this was through Officer Venegas, who was in charge of the case. So we haven't done so, but new cameras have been placed on order to replace that. We're going with a different style camera. It's a dome camera that can't be, let's just say, hit and then moved. It'll be in a dome. So hopefully to prevent that from happening, because that's actually happening at all 3 locations. So Paul Harvey Park, Western Park, and City Park is where they are damaging the cameras. So we're changing over to a different style camera to hopefully avoid that from happening.
Are the cameras high?
Cameras are anywhere from 15 feet.
How are they breaking
to-
them? Was he just like throwing something at him?
He threw a basketball at him. Yeah, so they're at the highest level that we could possibly get them.
And while I understand that offering to clean up the park is a gesture, is restitution being sought?
restitution is being sought on all cases of vandalism these
Okay.
days, so. City Park tennis courts over last weekend, Friday evening, I received a call from dispatch. Apparently, a youth touched the light pole that's at the corner of the tennis court and nearest 18th Street at the city park, and then touched the fence for the tennis court and received a shock. He then went home and got his father. His father came out and did the same thing. So they called me. I came out there and I killed the power to the light pole. But the issue is we have a short in the wiring up to the light fixtures and/or a problem with the actual light fixtures up at the top of the pole. So the power will remain off to all of those courts until that's repaired.
Will that be, so I know with like some of the dugout situation, attempting to get the tribes to assist in repair and maintenance on,
We're in charge of all the maintenance for it, so that's our responsibility. So it's just a normal
Okay.
repair that we're gonna get fixed.
How old are those lights?
Well, 50, 60 years old maybe?
Mostly a little older than me.
yeah,
Wait, so if we're in charge of the repair and the maintenance, then why can't we just fix the dugouts?
Because over a certain, anytime you do any major improvements, it has to have CRIT approval, and also in the contract, anything over $10,000 requires CRIT approval.
So if we could get somebody to do it under $10,000, then we wouldn't have to have credit approval?
No, so we're actually changing the actual dugouts in that case. So yes, it would require their approval to get done.
So what's the letter then for that we want to get it done, or we want them to pay for it?
No, we just need their approval to move
Okay.
forward. We will get it done once, if we get their approval to do so. The scoreboard at Aaron Hill Field is scheduled for repairs tomorrow. So we'll have that fixed hopefully for the end of their Little League season and for next year's season. And the issue was with the scoreboard and the communication to the handheld set that the Little League has. It wasn't communicating or updating the scoreboard out in the field. And there's basically a transmitter device inside the actual scoreboard itself, and so therefore it wasn't communicating and allowing the changes that they were making with the handheld to actually show on the scoreboard. So they'll be here tomorrow to fix that. I did meet with a contractor from Phoenix to provide a proposal for the artificial turf for Aaron Hill Field. He's gonna do a proposal for that, and also he is going to be doing a proposal for the tennis court over at City Park as well. And that is something that we've talked about resurfacing, but it's actually beyond the point of resurfacing. Those tennis courts need to be completely taken down and all new tennis court, concrete, fencing installed. So 2 separate proposals. We're going after grant money for both of those. Number one would be the field turf, and we're trying to get that information so we can actually put that in as a part of our 23-24 budget. And then we'll see if council wants to move forward with that. But yes, we're looking for grants, and it looks like through my grant writer, we're going to be able to go after a couple of different grants, hopefully to get the entire thing paid for. So that's what we're trying to do.
Steve, in consideration with the tennis courts, when we're looking at resurfacing and repaving, and I know the difference isn't that much, but will we be going back after just having straight tennis courts, or are we going to try to do half tennis court, half pickleball? Because that seems to be much more popular, especially with our snowbird population, than tennis.
Right, so based off the size of the court, he feels that we could get 6 pickleball courts in there. and then have it with the option of converting over to 2 tennis courts like it currently is set up for. So it would be either or, and depending on how we set it up. So 6 pickleball courts and 2 tennis courts.
So it would just be, you pick which one you want to use and go over there, or like now they're like
My
chain
suggestion
fence?
would be, it would be 3 pickleball courts
Yeah.
all the time and then 1 tennis court all the time. Yes, we could certainly do all pickleball. But if we do if council does decide to move forward with this project, we get it funded, we get it done, it would be a park usage type of situation. It would remain locked all the time. Because if we're gonna invest, $500,000 or, spend a large sum of grant money on a project of that magnitude, we want it to actually, remain in good condition. So it would be a park usage type of situation.
Okay.
It would not be open all the time. Cemetery cleanup, staff is busy doing a big cleanup at the bottom of the cemetery area. And we're gonna do some work with the oleanders down there as well. So they're busy doing that this week and perhaps some of next week. And then the jailhouse project refurbishment, I'm working towards getting the architect to get some plans so we can get that project going. We are awarded $107,000 from the Heritage Foundation for that grant. And so we will be, and at the same time, we put in $108,000, so it's a total project of about $200,000. There's special guidelines when you register a building to be a historical landmark, which it is, that we have to follow in order to keep that as a historical landmark. So we have to follow their guidelines for restoration and refurbishment. So our architect actually has done a project similar to this. So the first step would be basically figuring out what we're gonna do, what we're gonna replace. Essentially, it's gonna be a new roof, windows and door, and then clean up the inside as best we can. Probably, hopefully, depending on the cost, do some repairs to most of the inside. We'll see how that goes. But for the most part, it's just basically repairing that roof, getting it to where we can actually open it for and use as either a point of interest for the town of Parker or turn it into a museum. Those decisions can be made down the line, but needless to say, it does need all those repairs, and that's the first step. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bobby, just so you're aware, because you do act as the liaison between the tribes and the town, there's an attempt being made to modify and improve the baseball fields by working on the dugouts. And a letter of request was submitted from Steve's committee and discussed with Amelia in regards to doing those modifications to the dugouts to the Colorado River Indian tribes. So just making sure that you're aware of that.
Can I chime in real quick, Amy? Yeah, or Ms.
Yes.
Aspa. So Town of Parker liaison, Erica Daniels. The letter was not actually delivered. We spoke as council afterwards. I know that Mayor Hartless did speak with Amelia about it, but the letter was not delivered because there was a few things wrong in there. It actually stated that the Parker Little League was requesting it, when I believe it was requested at the last Park and Recs meeting. So the letter was not delivered. Just so
Okay.
we're all aware.
Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for that update. So,
And I think it'll take some time, Bobby. I think we're gonna review it and talk about it a little bit more. Okay.
okay.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Please? Bobby, the gist of it was basically focusing on Field 2, softball field. There was some extracurricular activities happening in those dugouts. And so just as early, I mean, as most recent as yesterday, picking up small bottles of liquor from inside the dugouts before our softball practice. And so us as a committee thought it would be wiser to take them down there and just have exposed dugouts instead of somewhere where people can hide. They've attempted to lock the doors inside the dugouts. The chain link get broken. The storage spots inside the dugouts get broken into as well. So we've caught kids in the dugouts like watching Netflix. So we made the recommendation to just take them down, and Steve said it was possible. Then we could do some
Chain link fence.
chain
Just like
link
chain
type
link.
dugouts where nobody can hide.
And I really don't see any opposition on that, other than, the town does carry the lease on it, and it would be, other than the taking down of it, I would support that, for those reasons. And, I guess I would look at it as a town decision as part of the lease, just, for your information type deal to the tribes maybe. I don't think it's gonna come down for our decision, but if it does, be happy to present it.
Yeah, at least requires your approval for anything over $10,000 and any changes to the park.
So there is some cost involved in this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I can't
not-
put up fence.
We're not
That's a-
asking money from the tribes.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I know.
we're asking, obviously, for your approval to do that. But yes, obviously, knocking down the dugouts requires costs, and then installing the fencing requires costs, all of which is going to be over $10,000.
And then were you here to hear about were you here in regards to the information on the tennis courts?
Today?
Yeah,
No.
okay.
Because I knew there was a meeting.
So, Steve, can you just briefly just that, as a liaison to the tribes and the fact that the lease goes through the tribes in order for, as you said, more than $10,000, those tennis courts are on tribal property, which would require that. So I don't want you to get blindsided as you're the liaison between the two. So I'm making sure that you're informed is the point. So Steve, if you could please just quickly highlight.
So we've considered resurfacing the tennis courts. The tennis courts are not in the condition of any resurfacing, so it actually needs to be essentially knocked down and all new surfacing installed, all new fencing installed. So it's a complete project. So I'm obtaining a proposal from a contractor to see what that's going to cost. And then obviously, once we have that in hand, then we'll obviously reach out to you folks through council if council decides to move forward with that project. We are seeking grant funding to do that project as well as some other park projects. So it all depends on whether council wants to do it, but I am getting a proposal to do it.
And there would be a conversion to include pickleball courts.
It's already been converted in a way. There's a couple pickleball courts there. They're just not actual, let's just say, set up for pickleball in a manner that the whole court could be set up for pickleball. We've actually painted a couple pickleball courts in which over the years, actually, in further investigation, it looks like some people took it upon themselves to actually put the posts in for pickleball. My staff didn't put the posts in, so there's actually ground-mounted post mounts, I guess the best word to use, to where pickleball court can be set up or pickleball net can be set up. But my staff, probably about 5, maybe 6 years ago, painted one pickleball court out there. It looks like there's 2 out there now. But yeah, so the courts are more utilized now for pickleball than tennis at this point, and so converting it over to more of a pickleball, but also have the ability to have still the 2 tennis courts as well.
That would be my only comment, would it even be feasible to continue on, to have tennis courts there, because I don't see a lot of people.
Yeah, it would just be an option. So the way that you'd set it up, you'd want it to be used. He even mentioned that they could turn it into a half-court basketball court as well. So it all depends on how much we want to dump into it as far as the type of project. But he said definitely the 6 pickleball courts you could squeeze in there, and also have the ability to switch that to 2 full tennis courts like it currently is.
Okay, thanks. I just don't want you to get,
Thank you, I appreciate it.
yeah, I just want to make sure you were updated. So next would be the Back to School Bash. And the gentleman that did, so you each got flyers to hand out. You also got a letter for business community members to share. As a note of consideration, I intend to see if the Elks Lodge will provide the hot dogs. The Eagles will provide the condiments. The water has already been donated. We'll be looking for buns and chips. So the other stuff we talked about pretty thoroughly last time. The banners are here. The one thing that we did talk about last time was doing bouncers. So Daniel, real quick, if you want to flip through these real fast. The company that provided the bouncers last year is willing, or at the last event, Easter, is willing to provide a couple of bouncers, water play bouncers for this event. He sent me pictures and dollar amounts, so if we can decide which we want to use, then we can reach out to him to make sure that they are, to make sure that they're reserved. So the first one is just a standard red and yellow castle for 180. The second is with a slide. The second is more of a pink style castle with a slide. The third, that's 200. The third is a double water slide with the steps that go up the middle. You've probably seen those at like the Blake Days because that's the one they have at the Blake Days. That one is 350. And then there's a triple slide. Oh no, it's a double slide with palm trees at the top. The first one has castle, second one has palm trees. It's 350. And then the third is the like slip and slide one, the inflatable slip and slide one where you slide through. That's 300. So how many do you want to have and which ones do you want?
Well, did we have a budget like set for,
When we discussed this last time, there is money in our, there is money due to the fact that we didn't have the summer rec program. So there is money to rent these if we want to. So,
And you're still looking at having all of the community partners around just the splash pad area.
that's what we had discussed.
So, I mean, trying to squeeze in more than 2 would probably be pretty difficult, right? With plus all the vendors around the outside edge.
I think we had, at the last one, we had we had, how many did we have? I thought we had like a bouncer and then 2 water slides and plus the
Was it 3?
vendors. Plus the vendors.
Okay. I probably wouldn't do more than 3.
Well, I wouldn't think more than 3. Yeah. So if you want to do 2, that's fine too.
Just do the 2 big ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
I like the
slide and then the
run-through one.
run-through.
Okay, so the run-through one, so you want to do the run-through one with the palm trees and then the double side with the palm trees? To make that simple. Then, okay, that sounds good. So that will be 650. Comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay, do we need to make a motion on that? Because it's below the dollar amount. Okay. Then I'll go ahead and arrange for Enrique to get the bill to you, Amy, correct? And then I will order them. Yes, Steve?
Give the bill to me.
Okay, bill to Steve, and then I will order them. Erica, do you have any questions about that?
No.
So Back to School Bash, were you able to secure Jackie in?
So I did talk to the problem that she says she wouldn't have a problem doing it with boys' haircuts because he's so new, because the fact that it's only an hour and a half, his haircuts take 30 to 45 minutes, and that would be not a lot of time.
So
Yet, if you've got 10 boys.
Yeah, he's not that, yeah.
He's not, I mean, he's
is,
new.
well,
so,
and Alan
yeah.
did it, Alan's done it, so I'm sure he would
Yeah.
not mind. I'll reach out to Alan
Yeah,
and see
I
if
think
Alan
that's a
will
lot
do
of
it.
pressure, and
But Jackie is willing.
I could get Jackie to do it.
Okay, so we have a girl and a boy haircutting place. And then I did reach out to IHS about the immunizations like they did last time. I'm just waiting for them to get back with me.
Actually, then now that we're talking about that, so the hospital, we were talking about doing physicals, sports physicals for free.
Yeah.
But we don't have a place because we asked Pace if we could use their room and they said basically they're using it to store all the backpacks. So I don't know if you have an idea.
We used Pace last time, but the backpacks should all be out of there because they'll be out being handed out.
That's what I was thinking.
They
But
shouldn't be in there because they'll be out being handed out. Last time we put, it was actually Rochelle White. No, she's married. Al Qaeda. Okay. So it was Rochelle and Alan, and they were in where like they have all the meetings.
yeah,
And we
and that,
kept that closed all the way, and the kids got to go in and out the glass door. And then on the front side, IHS did stuff, and they were in the kitchen is where they did it
well,
all.
and that's what Pace had said is that we could use the kitchen.
That's
but-
what we used last time.
So.
So
we
if
just
they're okay
weren't
with
sure if
kitchen-
That was a big, I guess, because we want to have like 2 providers doing, each one takes about 10 minutes. So that was our plan and our goal, but I think they're still working through it because they weren't sure of where to go now.
Well,
And
maybe,
they have to have access to a restroom. Which
well, there's
the
2 restrooms right there. Yeah. I think they did all the paperwork at the counter, and then they sent them back to the kitchen for the stuff. And I think we had a couple of the medics from the fire department that did the blood pressures and all of that stuff initially off the bat before they went back with someone. Maybe we might be able to use the office that Zach and Raquel share. And that would give them 2 areas, 1 for each provider.
Yeah, okay. I'll find out if Amanda's talked to Pace anymore about it, so.
Okay, all right. So you've got that taken care of? Okay. And then I'll check with Alan. Other than that, please just let me know if you secure somebody for something so that we're not doubling up on everything.
I can have the buns get covered.
Okay.
La
Can you-
Piazza will donate them all.
Oh,
I think they did that.
I just
last
reached
time.
out to EWS as well, so if they commit to one thing or the other,
That's
I'll
fine.
tell them chips.
Yeah, if they.
I told him buns and
He did
chips.
the buns before,
Do the buns last year.
and I can
Yes.
get him to commit to the buns.
Okay, so you'll
How
get,
many again?
we were gonna do 200. So it'll be 200 bags of chips?
I'll ask her when I hear back from her.
Okay.
could just do
I
chips.
think that they're already planning on donating water bottles, though.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we should let somebody else try to do that if they're going to do water bottles.
We have leftover water from the tube float.
That's where the water's coming from. Yeah, Melissa should have dropped it off with you. Okay, so that's where all the water's coming from. And I know Circle K won't do chips. They might, I don't know, I'll ask them, because normally they provide all the water, but we have all that water left over from tube float. So I can check with Circle K. If it can't, then Amy, I'll get with you and maybe we can brainstorm something else. You know who normally does that is the Parker Jet Ski Rental Place next to Domino's. They're the ones who have donated a couple times for that, the chips.
Are they still open? The one by Domino's?
Yes, it's still open.
I think so.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, and we have the new boat sale place. We could go try them, the power boats.
Pretty good about.
Are they pretty good about donating? Then we can try them.
Yeah, they've been real big in
Unless are they mad at us over the
participating.
Easter thing?
Maybe popsicles, since we've already done buns and chips from other people,
All right,
or Otter Pops.
that's a good idea. Okay, I'll check with them. All right, so you guys, it's probably getting close enough that maybe wait a week on the flyers, like to post them. So maybe
Yeah.
like mid next week, post the flyers, because if they're too soon, then everybody just kind of turns a blind eye to them. But please do start reaching out for supporters. We need booths. So reaching out. Thanks to Mandy who did share that on the Healthy La Paz website today. Anything else on the Back to School Bash, Gloria? Carissa? No. Erica? Okay. Summer program. Phoenix, I think, is that why you're here? Or you're the next one? Okay. What was the thought behind summer program?
It was just a carryover from last
Perfect.
meeting.
Thank you. Does anyone want to say anything about summer programs? Okay. Yes.
We talked about future projects last time.
Yes.
But I think we just kind of like, there's a lot of going over, but I don't think anybody gave any of like their input or their ideas.
thought
At
we
least
were
I
gonna-
don't remember I did. So I just had a thought. I know that the splash pad hasn't been the easiest at times with the handle, whatever those electronics are. But have we ever thought about like expanding the splash pad? I see people using it like no tomorrow. It's like everybody has their birthday there. I was in Bullhead like a month ago, and they just like doubled the size of their splash pad, and they're doing it like in phases. Like, oh, we added this. What are your thoughts, Steve? Is that a big thing or?
I mean, that would be great. It's obviously in lieu of a pool, so,
I mean, I would love to see a bigger splash pad over.
Because I
tennis
know
ball
that whole
courts.
grassy area on the splash pad, we use it for like the events and stuff, but what if, yeah, I'm with
Okay,
Daniel,
so
if
you
we
guys
expanded.
remember that the money is set aside for a pool, correct? There is money budgeted to
there's
bring
a
in.
fund, but as far as all the money budgeted for pool construction, I would say no, but.
What
there's
is
a
the
fund.
time
Well,
frame on that?
there's a fund that,
We just don't know.
there is a fund that has money in it. But those were donations taken for a pool. I'm not sure why they took donations way back when.
We know
what
who
it
they came
was.
from and all of that, or no?
You have to do, in order to use them, you have to know who they came from, right? You can't use them for anything else without talking to who donated them.
I would assume.
Yeah, I would assume that we would need to do some sort of outreach to say, hey, you know, this is all that's been donated in the last, I mean, I've been here 4 years and I've never solicited anybody for a pool donation. I don't know when they did this, but the money's there, but it's for a pool. So I don't know how we would go about, you know, notifying people or asking, hey, is it okay? You know, we know you donated X amount of dollars. We want to do a splash pad expansion.
Can we do like
I'm
a
not sure how
public
that
notice or
works.
something, like in the paper?
To my knowledge, even some of them that have donated have passed away, because I did ask a few questions about the pool, because it is a pretty big sum. It's not one to go build a pool, but it's definitely not little. But I was told that some of them actually had passed away, so trying to get a hold of them, and then they'd have to get a hold of the next of kin, because they can't just use it like, oh, never mind, we're not building a pool anymore, so we're gonna use it for something else. So I think we'd have to dig further into policies and procedures after that to see what we would do.
So like a
So
public,
let's
a
build a
public
pool.
notice wouldn't.
That would, I
A
would
public
think,
pool, yeah.
that would probably have to consult with the town attorney.
Oh, yeah, it'd have to go away.
There's probably some statutory stuff behind that that we have to include as well, so, yeah.
But if we didn't use those funds, nobody's against the idea of expanding it.
Yeah, so I think that's a great idea to expand it. It's something that we, as Public Works, have thrown around for years. If you don't decide to, council decides not to go in the pool direction, yes, you know, certainly expanding the splash pad is the way to go. We can go after grant funds to do that. Certainly the Arizona State Parks, the grants that we can go after through them, you know, exactly for stuff like that.
So can we put the wheels in motion to start that? Or is that? to
It's
do
too late this year, but as far as what we can certainly put it on the list, and put it, you know, on my priority list, project list, and we can certainly go after it, absolutely.
I don't know if I have to raise my hand. I don't know how that works. So if we did expand it though, would we just leave enough room to build a pool at some point if that was ever, because I know, well, I don't know, what I've heard is the pool's not gonna be the same size as it was before, because that was just
Correct.
ridiculous. So would we just expand, leaving enough room for a potential pool so that we're not wasting money on a splash pad and then in the
Yeah,
future
we just
doing
have
the
to take a
pool?
look at things and see, just measure out and get some dimensions, obviously with our, how the current layout is. We might have to move some things around.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think that big open grass area would be the future spot for the pool, and you put the splash pad,
Kind of mixed.
kind of connect it
Yeah, and move
towards
it over.
the restroom, you know, and go in that direction, rather than towards the pool house. But yeah, it certainly can be squeezed in, and just depending on how big we want to go with the expansion.
Is there some intention to do something with, I've had several people approach me about how awful that area looks, where the trees were all cut down, now there's just big stumps and dead grass. Is-
Around the front of the park?
Yeah, in the front of the pool house, the area, the square in front of the pool house. Is there some intention to try to maybe convert it into the desert landscaping like you have here?
I have no intention to do that. Wouldn't be one of my
Okay,
items that I'm looking at right now.
okay,
Say that we can't address that, but in general, if we're gonna do something like that, obviously we need to do work on that pool house and decide what we're gonna do with that pool house. We can certainly do a paint job on it.
there wasn't the pool house that I've had questions about. It was the area that used to
Yes,
have grass and
I
trees.
agree that front area, now that the trees are gone, removing those stumps and planting more trees, yeah, we can certainly look at doing that as well. Absolutely, we can put that on the list.
And I'm not even saying planting more trees, even if we went to a gravel and
Yeah,
more
but I-
Well, I
desert
think a
landscape.
desert landscape with some trees or, something along those lines, absolutely. I know the mayor's mentioned that, to do something there since the trees were removed because they're diseased.
Right.
And that's the reason why they were removed. So removing all that stuff and building something new is what we should be doing.
Okay, did anyone, I thought we were gonna have more like a work session on the future parks projects, was I?
We
No?
did,
Not that I.
Didn't we?
Do you want to maybe consider planning a work session like October-ish so that we're prepped for the new year for,
That's what we were supposed to do last time when we came in at 3,
right?
but I don't think any of us, we didn't really have any input. We just went over things. Nobody made a suggestion, or I've talked to the community and this is an idea. I don't think we went that route.
Okay,
We just kind of heard what was going on, asked some questions, and then by the time we went into our meeting.
okay. So, Steve, when do you normally sit down to review what you've done and where you're going, usually January, correct?
As far as our budget's concerned,
Well, the budget would be the budget would start July 1st, right?
yes, but we start the planning, it's months in advance, absolutely. Actually, mine starts as soon as the budget year starts, I start planning for my next fiscal year, because that's how long some of these projects take.
Okay,
So typically, yes, January, February is a timeframe for us to start planning and getting together projects. It depends if it's a large-scale project. Obviously, the sooner that we get going on that and the sooner I know about it, the more planning I can do to prepare for that for the budget. So yes, typically it starts in January, but for my projects, they usually start earlier.
okay. So,
So if we were to start having these discussions, say in October, November, and then kind of finalize what we're gonna do in December, that way I'm prepared, I can get going on getting all the things I need to, in order to present that to town manager and the council. That's the direction that I would give the committee.
okay. So does that sound adequate for you guys? All right. Moving into new business, soccer field project. Have you heard any further from Mr. Nelson?
No.
No.
So I guess we'll just table this.
Okay.
till We hear back.
Okay, thank you. And Phoenix, I'll invite you to the podium, please.
Hi, guys. The Parker Public Library respectfully requests your support of our summer reading program. At the end of the summer, the library hosts a Winter in July program that is jam-packed with winter-themed activities, including an Arizona snowball fight, which we use reusable water balloons for. Gingerbreadless gingerbread house building, holiday cookie bake-off, a winter-themed relay race, and then everybody enjoys cool frozen treats under our hot Arizona sun. Some supplies that this program requires are cases of water, popsicles. We can always use more reusable water balloons, graham crackers, frostings, toppings, sponges, sunscreen, and then prizes for the holiday cookie champion, as well as the best gingerbread house winner. Any assistance with purchases or donations of these materials would be greatly appreciated by not only the library, but also the families who attend these programs. So for all of those materials, it would be about $250. if that's something that you guys would.
So I'll entertain a motion.
Just do it.
Give them money.
I was gonna give them more. I'm gonna give you guys more
I thought we
money.
had discussed about
Yeah.
giving them more money. Did we not?
Because
She's asking for 250.
Yeah, we'll give you the 250 plus whatever else we agree on.
make a motion.
I'll make a motion, yeah.
Okay, so I'm entertaining a motion.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion by Gloria, second by Daniel,
Yes.
from Parks and Rec's budget to give the Parker Public Library $250. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you, Phoenix. And then please remember, as a committee, she has said that she is giving out prizes. What age groups, please?
So this age group is anywhere, for this specific program, it's anywhere between 5 years old to 18 years old. But we do programs for 0 to,
Okay, you said that you were having some cook-offs and things that you needed prizes for.
yes,
So,
that one would, it's anywhere between 5 years old and 18 years old.
okay, so if you guys are out shopping or you are going through stuff, regifting new items, regifting, like bakeware and things like that, please feel free to drop that off at the library. Yes.
Again, new to the board, so maybe a stupid question, but like Gloria was saying, so we can only give her what she asked for?
If you'd like to give her more, you could certainly.
That's, I think, what
You could
we
Yeah,
were.
because I
certainly-
thought we talked
Can we
about.
give her allocated fund, can we give her taxpayer funds for something that's not allocated?
Well, we have our
If we
budget.
go over $250, the money apparently isn't allocated towards anything for her.
Well, it's allocated for the summer recreation program.
Yeah, exactly, the
And
reading
since you
program.
guys aren't holding a summer recreation program, and this is a summer rec,
But she said that's all it needs, is that amount.
oh,
But if we want to give them additional funds so they can
To
buy
buy
their
prizes.
prizes, is that going to be okay?
I don't see an issue.
I don't
with
see why not, if you're allocating it towards prizes.
Yes. So we do giveaways and stuff throughout the whole summer. This was just a specific program that I could think of that's really physical and would get kids outdoors and moving. So I thought it would pertain more to your guys' board. But we do lots of physical activities throughout the summer as well. And then we reward kids for reading throughout the summer.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to give her a financial sum to assist with prizes.
And maybe just all of her summer programs that she does, because they've been doing them already.
We have to be careful about giving taxpayer money for
No, I know, but that's what I'm
unallocated
saying.
sources.
They do have, I mean, the Facebook page tells what they do, and so it's.
Okay,
I
so,
don't see an issue moving
Can we
any money
just say that we
from-
want to give the summer program $2,000 of our budget money? Is that something? No?
No.
I don't
10
see an
times.
issue with that. If
okay,
there-
so if
there's
we
an
give
issue that-
$2,000, are we still gonna have enough money to pay for our bouncers?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't
Alright,
you guys
so-
usually have money roll over at the end? No?
Well, have they spent?
The
more
only
than-
reason we've had money roll over at the end, normally we have to go to council and ask for more. The only reason we have money rolling over at the end right now is because we don't have a summer program.
And because you guys usually donate to swim, right? And there's no swim program this summer either.
Exactly. And normally we give to swim, which is why we had entertained her coming to allow us to give her money.
And what we voted to give to Pace as well, and
Right, and
we
we gave-
doubled what they asked for there, so.
That's, yeah, so
Okay.
we don't normally give to Pace either, but we didn't give to the swimming program. They've asked, and we don't have a summer program, so.
Okay.
They're
for
kind
this
of
year.
in lieu of the summer program, they're kind of picking up that
So
slack.
Gloria, your motion is for? Are we going to amend the $250 motion,
Yes.
Yes.
increase the value to?
Do we know what we have in the budget after giving Pace? Is that a not?
There should be plenty of money if you want to do.
Pace?
And plenty of money for
the
back to
bounce
school
house?
still, and then the other events that are gonna
Because we have
come up.
Christmas coming up. Well, no, because that'll be new budget year. That's right, this is the end of the fiscal year, so we're good, yes.
Yeah,
good,
take
Tim.
all our money. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
She's up there like, oh my God.
Yes, please.
So do we give them 2,000? Now, I don't.
It's your motion.
I know, well. I
So
think we're
make your
just-
motion, and until you've motioned, we can't
Motion is
discuss.
to give the summer program $2,000 of our budget money.
Okay,
That's
so we'll
my
either
motion.
have a second or discussion.
Yes.
I second that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Phoenix, I'm sure you and Amy can figure out how to make that work.
Do you oppose?
Opposed?
Are you opposing or are you agreeing?
No, I oppose. I just would like discussion about an amount. I don't understand. That's all.
Okay.
I just asking.
I just threw out a number,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
was
that's
just-
kind
okay.
of, that's why I was
Okay, but
asking.
going back to last meeting, and I don't have the notes in front of me, so what was it that how much do we typically give the swim program? Wasn't it like 18,000?
$7,000.
$7,000.
How much did we give Pace?
$2,000.
So we gave Pace 2,000, we're giving the library the same amount, 2,000.
And that still gives us money because if we're not giving that 7,000, it still leaves 5,000 extra dollars in there, right?
Well,
So-
4 minus 7 leaves 3, but yeah.
If you count Pace and library.
Yeah, but
Right.
we usually gave the swim program 7,000 and then we used how much more towards our own programs?
Oh, a lot.
Okay, so
'Cause it was
again,
like-
so we have that
Right.
extra
The
money then.
There's that money there,
Why
right?
don't
Yes.
we say up to $2,000 depending on what the budget has in it? So, because we don't have those numbers in front of us, I'm confident that that money is there. But if we come back and find, hey, there's only, $1,600, then $1,600 it is. But I'm almost positive there's
I agree.
plenty of money there.
I'm on board.
Okay, do you have any other questions?
No. Just give us
Do you
some
have-
shout outs.
Gloria, do you
Parks and Rec. I would love it.
Yeah.
If you buy some, Nintendo Switches or something great. With that much money,
Maybe not giving away.
Or you just can give me a book, I'll be
Give us,
happy.
give us a shout out that Parks and Rec supported it. That's-
Yeah, we do have a wall in the library where we have all of our sponsors posted, and then we do a shout out on our Facebook page as well.
Okay, Gloria, are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Static.
Thank you.
so we have a motion from Gloria.
To give the summer library program $2,000.
Okay,
And I second.
and we have a second by Carissa. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries.
Thank you. Also, come to a program, it's fun.
I'm sending all my kids. They're there right now.
All right, Mandy, would you like to add anything from Healthy La Paz? Okay, Bobby, would you like to add anything from the tribes?
This time, thank you.
Okay, Erica, would you like to add anything from council?
I have two things.
Yes.
So the first one, I guess, is just from my knowledge. I got a phone call today. This co-ed softball league has started, and there's no restrooms. So to my understanding, there was people that had used the restroom so bad they were urinating behind trees at the ballpark last night. What are we gonna do about a restroom for the co-ed softball league?
I thought they were getting.
They said there's over 60 people every game.
Yeah, and yesterday was our first one.
And Steve, just so you know, there were also no trash cans out. I mean, like, I was walking around picking up cans and like
Same.
stuff. There were no trash cans. Like at Field 3, usually there's a trash can by each of the dugouts. There were no trash cans. And the dumpster wasn't over there either, so we couldn't even use the dumpster.
There's a dumpster at the tennis courts, I know that.
Okay, well,
There's one trash can on field two.
Used to be for the
There was
grass.
one on
those have
3.
been removed,
I'm just saying.
Maybe on our side.
As far as restrooms are concerned, I will get with Kaylee.
Yeah,
believe
for some
she
reason, I
has-
thought we were doing porta potties.
I don't think she came in and got the keys to the restrooms, so I'll reach out to her to make sure she gets a key.
As far as
I know
park,
she has a key to the gate, I believe, but not to the actual restroom doors.
Can I answer a question real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. As far as the fields and reservations, I know this is a topic, right? So Little League would secure them for so long, and I know soft co-eds, adult softball started now. Is there reservations in place? Because we're running into some unique situations where like girls softball is still going, they have All-Star League, and then adults are like, oh no, we'll be here till 9 o'clock. Good luck. And I'm like, and then they're saying, well, I heard that it was reserved, like they blocked out all the fields for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, so it's first come, first served for.
That's all it is, right? It's not reserved.
No, it is reserved, so.
But
the Heat League
reservations.
has reservations for certain times. I believe theirs are from 6 to 10.
Okay.
On Mondays and
Wednesdays, yeah.
and we're only playing on Field 1 and
and
3,
three.
Daniel.
That's it?
Just 1 and 3.
Don't play on field 2.
So if adults are on field 2 or 4,
them off.
we can tell them that,
Yeah,
Yes.
the Little League has the reservation, and you had the reservation for, obviously for months.
Okay.
Cody did send in the paperwork to extend it through July, so we have the schedule for you guys for July for the Little League.
Okay.
But yeah, so there shouldn't be any issues, obviously, if adults are using the fields that you guys have reserved.
Specifically, it's just girls softball.
But reserved for a
Field two
game
should
though
be.
too, right? Because practice is first come, first serve. It's a reserve for a game, it's different.
So is there games
But your guys'
reserved
game
under-
happen on
They have
field
it
two.
reserved for everything, for practice, for games. The Little League one is reserved for games and practice.
So how about the adults? I just don't want
The
conflict. I'm just
adults
trying to-
are, is just for their time frame and on the games, on the dates of which they are playing, so
Yeah, so it'd be Mondays and Wednesdays from
6 to 10.
Well, I
They
think
probably reserve
6
6
to
to 10
10.
because that way we time, because we didn't finish till like
to warm
9:38
up.
last night.
But field two should be open for you.
All the time.
Yes,
All the
all the
time.
time. We're only on 1 and 3.
Call me, I'll kick them off.
Okay,
I don't
that
have,
works
I don't
for
have a
me.
problem having
Little League is
competition.
using only 2 and 4, from what Cody has been saying.
Correct. And then also using the fields on the
Aaron
four
Hill.
corners,
Four corners.
because we're running out of space. So the boys are usually practicing 4 and then down at four corners.
So you're not using Aaron Hill for anything?
So for the older boys right now, the field's too small. It's not safe for them to be pitching at that distance. They get hurt.
Oh, so it's the majors that we're talking
Yeah,
about?
yep.
Okay.
13 to 16-year-olds.
Talking about the seniors, right?
A junior, senior league.
Okay, so Erica, that was your first question, your second?
Have you guys ever thought about doing some type of survey to ask the community if they would want an expansion on the splash pad or to save money for a pool or to do something like that? Has that ever been done?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. That's it. That's all the questions I had.
Can I ask you, Mandy, your last couple community surveys, how well were they?
They went really well as long as you offered an incentive for taking the survey. If you don't offer an incentive, they don't do it. But if you say, oh, you could win an iPad, 'cause our big community health survey that we do every 5 years, we offered an iPad as an incentive, we got over 1,000 responses. But then
course.
another one that we didn't have any incentive for, I got like 2. So I did do a few smaller ones with like gift cards, like $15 Starbucks gift cards, and that got pretty decent response.
I've gotten about 400 off of gift cards.
Okay.
400 surveys responses.
So we typically don't get for any of the CDBG projects. I've been here a good number of years, and basically every other year that we do these projects, we get 0 community input. So those are obviously major projects for the town and for the community, and we get 0 input when we're required to have the public meeting in regards to get the public comment and public input on that, and we get 0 input. So that just, tells you a little bit about the community. You have to incentivize to get people to come out and do it. I'm okay with that, but just from that standpoint, that's just sending the wrong message, in my opinion.
Or just working on promoting it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
saying, what kind of
promotion, and
promotion
we
do you do?
advertise, and we do all the stuff that we're required to do, and yet we still get the 0 input. So it's frustrating because we want the community's input on the projects that we do, certainly for the block grants that we put forth to the council. And short of knocking on doors, it's similar to our water. We did a water line extension project, and we were just needing actually the certain portion of residents to actually provide a little bit of information on, what they make so we can get grant money to move forward with the project, and they were unwilling. We had to go door to door to complete the survey. It's just, I guess it's just a little frustrating because it helps the community, and we're trying to do this for the community, but yet we're big government, and, and we're the bad guys, so we don't get a lot of feedback from those, from residents. We just don't.
Bobby?
Yeah, maybe you can do a mail out in the water bill.
That's what I was just thinking.
Some type of response back from some of the people when they bring in their water bill, they can send in the survey.
Unfortunately, we can't
can't
add
do
anything
that.
to our water bills the way that our water bills go out now.
Even if, maybe at the school district, doing one for like kids, they don't have to put their name, they don't have to put any statistics.
We're not
or
allowed to
bu-
send anything out through the school districts anymore. They've shut that down completely. They wouldn't even let us drop off coloring sheets.
It doesn't have to be with the water bill, it can be a separate.
So-
You have all the addresses of people that live in town, so it's worth a shot, you know, if you're not getting any response, you know, if that's not working, try something different.
Maybe we could show up at one of the health fairs, because those are pretty well attended, like the local health fairs, and have a survey box there.
Or the summer bash.
Or
Or the
say the
library.
trunk or treat where you get 3,000
Exactly.
people attend and all you want is community input for the stuff that we're doing. We don't want to be the ones dictating on what the community wants. But when we don't get any response back from the community, well, we're putting forth projects that me, the Public Works Director, along with department heads are putting forward. And we don't get the community input. We would love to have the community input, but we don't get it. But having it at a big, huge event, the Christmas event, the trunk or treat event, that would be great. Even if it's just a piece of paper saying, you know, put your name down here for this project, or put your name down here for that project. That would be great. Then we would have some input.
Phoenix?
So what we do is we use SurveyMonkey, and we have them on
Yeah.
iPads ready to go. They're offline, so you don't even really need Wi-Fi if you download their app. And you can just have each family tap through and answer questions. I know that you did one.
I just did one today at the library.
It's fairly simple, and then it's literally just a walk by, you answer a couple questions, move on.
So Amy, we decided that we were going to talk about future parks projects going up, and can you make a note in August for us to begin that discussion with the possible survey that we could do at the library and maybe a trunk or treat?
Or at your
Just if you could have that in,
Put it on the August agenda.
it probably, while that's a great idea, we haven't really even discussed the future projects list. So we probably need to discuss that list before we start asking people, when we don't know what we want, what they want. So that we have survey items for on there. So is that possible, please,
On the August agenda?
on the August agenda?
Got it.
Please, thank you. Erica, did you have anything else?
No, let me clarify. I can tell them that there will be bathrooms for the future co-ed softball.
As long as I can get a key to somebody.
Okay.
But yeah, we don't open the restrooms, or restrooms are no longer open because of vandalism, so a key has to be issued to Kaylee or another member of the Heat League.
Can I pick up the key today?
Organization.
Is there something specific that I need to do?
Just need to sign for a key, that's it.
Okay.
Remember, you have to lock it before you leave.
I'm usually there, so
So,
First and last.
I'm good. I'm good for it. Trust me, I will.
Okay.
it should be the person, whoever fills out, it should be Kaylee.
Kaylee? I wonder if she's, let me go text her.
Bobby, did you have anything to add? Okay. Steve, anything else?
Nope.
Amy?
No, ma'am.
Gloria?
No.
Carissa?
No.
Colleen?
Just one thing. So Steve brought up a thing last time that said it was like maybe like a social media campaign we could run. It was it See Something, Say Something? And up until recently when I was at a town meeting, I didn't know we outsourced our social media. And so obviously we're paying for that as a community to a company that, should do whatever social media. I don't know what the terms and conditions are. But why can we do something? We have excess funds that we all talked about, where we can take some of these vandalism photos, have the company create some posts that we use some funds for, maybe a few $100s, and there'll be 5 or 6 or 10 of them that, where they vandalize stuff in the town, and it says, hashtag See Something, Say Something. We pay to have him promote it, and it hits every resident in the town of Parker on their Facebook. And we try to build that momentum of see something, say
Say
something.
something. Well, and that's a great idea, because if it does go to court, we can ask for restitution, which
But I
means
just-
that any funds that we spend for that advertising would be part of that restitution. Go ahead, sorry, Gloria.
It's kind of more of like exposing these people so that they don't want to.
I mean, we're not putting their face out there.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
but
talking
it's kind
about
of like
like,
they'll know that they're being seen and everybody can see it and hear about it, that type of stuff.
I
Because
just think it would be nice and, please contact any way possible.
I don't think
Yeah.
you could put it to where it reaches everybody in Parker, but you could boost it to where it gets seen more and shared more. You have to pay for the boosting on all social media.
Well, that's what I'm asking for. So I'm asking, I don't know what our,
The boosting those, and usually not very much that you have
no,
to
but
pay for.
I don't know what our contract is with our social media company, but if that's a possible thing and we allocate.
Maybe is that something that could be brought back to the next meeting?
We're kind of getting off topic.
Yeah.
So if we'd like, we can discuss a,
Future topic.
For future
yeah,
agenda, for future
I can
item?
put that on the next agenda to talk about it.
Sir,
Let's see something.
is that something that is possible?
Yeah, we don't really have a social media person,
It, oh,
the town itself, but we're working towards
Okay.
at the last town not to go way off topic, but at the last town council meeting, isn't that what the gentleman was here presenting, that he had the contract to run on social media?
I wasn't here.
Oh, didn't that
And I haven't
Jim,
heard the meeting yet.
JD 15, wasn't that the thing that said he was running the town social media? Or was that not correct?
Yes.
Yeah, you were there?
That's what he was saying.
Okay, that's what I'm just confused.
That's
What
what
he
was
was saying or
said.
he's doing?
Right now, we don't have anything in place, but that's what was said.
Yeah, that there was a
The
company. That's
outsourcing,
why I brought
though.
this up, because I was talking to Steve, it was catchy, see
Oh,
something,
okay.
say something. If we had a company,
Great idea, and that's, once we know what we're doing with our social media.
it could be possible.
Yeah,
Perfect.
absolutely.
I think the biggest concern from our committee is the fact that this is just becoming more and more and more and more. And we can't allocate funds, we cannot spend funds for the improvements that need to be done and the maintenance and upkeep when we're constantly having to fix vandalized items with very little prosecution on items, even when it's known who's done it. So,
Well, we'll shame them into submission.
I don't know that that
A lot of
would work.
people in our community that care about our parks. and
Absolutely.
I think if we, brought it to their attention and
The 1%ers are ruining it for the 99%ers of this town. It's sad.
And, I mean, and your concern with the bathrooms, that's the reason.
Yeah, so at all the parks, this was one of the things that I did right at, a while ago, was Steve and I ordered signs. And, if you see something, call Central Dispatch, the number's right there. Those should be all over the
Yeah,
parks.
they're posted at all
They're-
3 parks.
And on all the signs with the rules of guidance.
my only thought is that, I do some dabbling in social media and content and promoting it. And, I can put a demographic, I can put an area, I can put what age groups, I can target them, I can pay the fee, and it gets there. That's just what I was thinking, that's all.
So can we have information brought back to the committee next meeting? Added as agenda item?
Yep.
Okay. So with that being said, sir, do you have anything to add in? Okay. Then we'll adjourn the meeting at 5:02. Thank you for your time. I think that's a great idea. I love it when we walk into stores. Oh, are you taking over for Mr. Lucas, or are you just filling in today?
Filling in, I am the alternative liaison, but I don't know how often he'll be here, so. I know, it was like, I was looking through my flyer and it was in there.
Thanks for being here.